God damn it, Bob! Hey guys, this is Minnesota here, and welcome to the top 10 worst things Bob has done in SMG4 and other SMG4. Now we're going to take a look at both SMG4 and TheAwesomeMario's videos on the channels, but include the 2016 version will be not on the list. We all take a look at both 2017 and both 2018 made by SMG4 and 2017 videos made by TheAwesomeMario. Because 2016 will be not on the list because Bob wasn't appeared a lot until we see him a lot in 2017, 2018 and some fallen videos. And let's get it started of top 10 worst things Bob has done in SMG4 and TheAwesomeMario. Number 10. Bob shot Santa Claus with sniper rifle. SMG4 Christmas 2017 the Xmas Discovery. Now this is my favorite SMG4 Christmas video called the Xmas Discovery. Now we know Christmas is over, but it doesn't matter. Now since Mario and other friends tried to help Mega to get know about the Christmas back in Christmas 2017 videos made by SMG4, all Mario and others tried to help Mega to get know what Christmas all about back then, except Bob. Now, it's very unknown why did Bob kill Santa with sniper rifle or something when we first watched that videos. Why Mario and others tried to help Mega to get know about Christmas? Because Bob was shot Santa Claus was down with off screen. At the end of videos when Bob had arrived with their Santa Claus, which scared younger kids off. And it's revealed he also had the sniper rifle so quickly. Unfortunately, everyone was and unfortunately nobody was there. And it looked like a strip club for both Bob and their Santa Claus. But however, Bob thinks this Christmas is all about Santa Claus, but unfortunately, because Maggie was already learned about the Christmas was all about Santa Claus and shopping mall scene from Xmas Discovery. Oh Bob, how the hell is children supposed to get Christmas presents when Santa was absolutely dead with a stupid sniper rifle? Man, Bob, what the heck you thinking? You're already too late by that. You're already too late by this, Bob. Number 9. Bob steals SMG4's laptop. Bobkin and Bob and SMG4's missing laptop. Now this is everyone's favorite year. Now this is everyone's favorite year of SMG4, 2017. Now this video to start off SMG4's laptop got stolen, and it's up to both Bob and Facebook and try to find it. However, since videos take a lot of scene when Bob and Facebook are trying to find a laptop, but it wasn't alone until Bob revealed he had SMG4's laptop for the whole time. And Facebook can find out that Bob stole the laptop for the whole time. And this is why SMG4 cannot trust SMG4 cannot trust Bob if Bob should get removed by SMG4. However, then Bob wanted to be like SMG4. Unfortunately, forgiving Bob was not very good enough until he gets kicked off by SMG4. And SMG4 will threaten Bob if he steals the laptop again, then SMG4 were going to kill Bob like that. And that was pretty much it. Man, when you ever learn with you silly nonsense, Bob. Number 8. Bob steals the train for conductor or train driver SMG4's Mario's train trip. Now, Mario's train trip, when Bob was on the roof and the train trying to get to the train, when Mario and SMG4 don't know where Bob been up to until it's revealed that Bob steals the train. Rage tied the conductor or train driver hostage and end up falling out from the train. However, Bob was be a very first main antagonist for that videos. When SMG4 was sent told to stop Bob while Mario and SMG4 tried to stop train. Unfortunately, after train stopped, Thomas, alternate version of Thomas had his own cousin, and they sent Mario SMG4 and Toad, which we don't know where the heck these three going. And Bob had finally defeated by Toad fall out for the train. Yep. This is why you never ever put train driver or conductor hostage. Man, Bob. What the heck you thinking? Number 7. Bob wakes SMG4 up in the middle of night. A day in the life of Bob. Now, I know Bob's supposed to be worse than he ever done, but even worse than he ever done when asking SMG4 to be on SMG4's videos. Doing live with Bob, when Bob woke up and he wanted to be on SMG4's videos as possible. But however, because he desperately be on SMG4 videos, but SMG4 was refused to have Bob on his own videos. But we can see Bob on the videos a lot on SMG4's videos, but it wasn't bad a lot of in TheAwesomeMario's videos. But it's very hard to explain about that. And the night when Bob wakes SMG4 up in the middle of the night asking he wants to be on videos, I'm not sure that's the very first video where Bob had some different voices instead of his own. And then later that day he wake up the same day and then the videos end. But we see Bob a lot in SMG4 videos, but we're not sure why. Whatever. Number 6. Bob insulting his friend doing rapping music videos. SMG4's Bob Rapper. Now in Mario and the diss track videos, when Bob had gone too far enough, when he hired Psycho security minions. When Bob had gone far enough, everyone was a big fan of Bob, such as McDonald's or rapping music. During the casual scene when Alicia talking to SMG4 and others about what Bob had gone far enough, the TV was turned on, but the music videos just play when Bob started insulting his own friends or the music videos. It just totally wasn't funny, but Bob was acting like a bully and an arse. When Psycho was there, then Psycho and others tried to help Psycho doing a rockin', instead of doing rapping, but they're doing rock and roll. Or instead, because while Psycho and others doing rock and roll, tried to teach Bob a lesson. And Bob, realizing all of the Bob was now replaced with Psycho. And the McDonald's store where Bob was on there was get through and to ban. The mansion gets taken away, also where Bob's stuff. And there's no, Bob had a friend again, but when Bob was arrived to a cabaret when Mario and other was celebrated, that they no longer be friends anymore, but don't worry. Mario and others will forget Bob, and most important things, videos when after Bob retired the rapping career and more seen and the most important things videos. We're so glad he learned his lesson and Bob was befriended again with Mario and other and most important things videos. Now let's say number 5, try to get an SMG4 party at the castle. Bob and Bobkins an SMG4 party. Now, however, because Sans and Arthur was already been invited party with SMG4, but unfortunately, Sans versus Bobkins was being invited by SMG4 to the party, and SMG4 realized what the heck that Bob was doing there, and he don't remember he invited Bob or not. Mario versus Bobkins joined party with SMG4, and Bob had some serious evil plan to get into a party to finish the deck and then tried to use cannon to break the window but got himself wounded, and then tried to dress up a pizza delivery guy, and then he disguised as Panera. But yep, he deserved a piranha. No party for Bob. And SMG4 doesn't care if it's a Bob or not, but he deserves it. Number 4, Bob kicked Toby Ghost away. Paul was about to eat them, causing starting of the purge. SMG4 the Mario Purge, Halloween 2018. Now, since Bob knocked down Toby Costos like that, but however, now during the beginning of videos when President Peach blamed Mario who caused the start of the purge, when Mario started panicking when SMG4 had to shield it, and the Bob was arrived trying to get into the castle when Fisher Booker let him in after panicking. And then the Teletubbies arrived, and it's very unknown how the Bob and Fisher Booker managed to get kidnapped by the Teletubbies. But Mario and Toad tried to get away from Teletubbies, but however Mario got shot and Toad got beat up. But the first two being kidnapped by Teletubbies. The next one was Tori and Psycho, with Tori, his dog, got shot by one of the Teletubbies at a crossbow or a bow. But however, Psycho was reacting to her own nonsense from the past 2018 of SMG4 videos. When Tori was getting rid of frustration, then he decided to throw a fire of wine to at Teletubbies. Unfortunately, Tori threw that bottle on the floor instead of Teletubbies, causing Psycho was absolutely not happy. And they both, Psycho and Tori, ended up getting kidnapped by Teletubbies as well. And then Lolita SMG4 was outside the castle, but Teletubbies still go for these two when Lolita forgot to phone the police up. But however, police don't care about Luigi or SMG4's in danger. And then SMG4 got beat up by Teletubbies, and both Luigi and SMG4 got kidnapped by Teletubbies. And then they end up in the dungeon in the castle. But however, it turned out the purge was already over, and Bob was almost got killed by Teletubbies. And it's revealed he kicked Toby Costa with Paul or was about to eat them. And Carson might think it's a very genius way, but except for an other with a very angry face at Bob. And Bob thinks he's a bad ass so often, but that's not funny, Bob. Toby was telling Toby you need a Toby Carter when if you're hungry, and then you take it off the hand like that, you silly wizard. Number 3, Facebook. Now, number 3, Bob and Facebook can take a boat ride, get in and up, got lost in the ocean. Bobkins and Bob and gone fishing. Now that video was very interesting. The video started of both Bob and Facebook and go on fishing, and then it very struggled to fish out some fish because Bobkins is a frog, but frog don't normally harm again fish except some of these fish they can eat. Whereas especially the type of these frog like that. When Bob tried to get fish, but there's no fish, and then later on, Bob let Bobkins take a boat ride, and then they got lost in the ocean. And Bobkins summoning his dad to take Bobkins home, where Bobkins got lost with Bob in the ocean, and Bob still got lost in the ocean. And that's why, and no fish for Bob. But what the heck was wrong with you, Bob?
I feel sick now.
You and Bob can get eaten up by shark or prawn or fish like that, or you get lost in the ocean with Bobkins. Number 2, Bob pushed Fisher Bobkins down the well and sent everybody to get cooked and wine cost and mansion set on fire. SMG4 Bob Rapper Arc. Now it's another Bob Rapper Arc like that, but now a Mario concert. Now a Mario and the well, the mansion and the concert videos back then. This videos where Bob thought Facebook and having a nasty accident and then they flee in. Where Mario sees their Bobkins calling for the well, and then Mario and other tries to rescue Fisher Bobkins from the well, except Bob who tried to rescue Fisher Bobkins tried to be a hero. And then he rescued Fisher Bobkins. And then in Bob's mansion, when Bob told Maggie and Bowser to get cooked the turkey, and then he let Mario, Bobkins and Psycho to get a juice. But however, it turned out the juice was a gasoline, and Maggie accidentally set the kitchen on fire, and the fire and the flamethrower ammo was disguised or fire extinguisher, and it caused the whole mansion to burn, almost injured and burnt everybody. In Mario's concert, when Bob tried not to let Bob to join with them, but Bob going to let Luigi to be a security guard was supposed to let Mario Luigi out as security guards as Bob's own minions. When Fisher Bobkins tried to get into concert with kicked out by Bob, whereas Bob was so freaking selfish he is. At the end of videos when Bob had the true color and is revealed, he pushed Fisher Bobkins down the well so he tried to be heroes with it looked like a fake accident. But there's no accident. And then he let everyone do a cook and then wine caused the mansion set on fire. And Bob was acting like a bully against Bobkins. And then Bob stormed out angry when he got a concept. A beggar caused Fisher Bobkins unhappy. And that is why the Bob Rabbit arc had begun. And we already know the Bob Rabbit arc is very short. then Waluigi arc. Man, what's up with that Bob so often? Man. Number 1, Bob spending and wasting his own money doing at the casino. Bobkins and Bob in casino night. Now the video starts off with Bob and Bobkin doing poker with Bob and Bully. And the videos where Bob spent so much money and Victor Bobkin had won so much money. But if really Bob was a rich wrestler, then he shouldn't go for the lottery like that. But when Bobkins win so much money in both gambling machine and the ball spinner, but Bob was lost both gambling machine and free spinning, as well as poker. At the end of the videos, when Bobkin wins so much money and he come home except Bob. Unfortunately, since Bob got no money on him because he spends far too much money on casino and he done that on purpose. That is why some people who love to go to Vegas to get some money if they're lucky enough. But I think Bob was a bit too greedy to get so much money in casino night videos. And man, what the heck you thinking, Bob? So, what do you guys think about a top 10 worst thing Bob has done in SMG4 and the Awesome videos? Who your favorite SMG4 and the Awesome Mario videos that Bob had done really bad? Leave comments below. And please subscribe and follow to my channels if you're new to me. And please add like a favorite to my videos. And please subscribe and follow to my channels if you're new to me. Peace, man, shorts. I hope you enjoy it. Peace, man, shorts.